Well, hello, everybody. What's going on this fine evening? It's good to see you all. I hope everybody had a fine, high quality weekend and didn't get in too much trouble because, I didn't get any calls about possibly getting into trouble. Anywho, it's Monday night, and you know what that means. This is when we discuss all the figures that went up in the past week for pre order that we all think are going to look good under your lights and in front of your lenses. So, for anybody catching this on the replay, what do you think? What are some of your favorite figures that popped up in the last week that maybe you even went ahead and or you maybe went ahead and pre-ordered? I don't know why that just happened, but that's where we're at. Now, before we really get kicking here, I want to bring something up. Da, 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 da. But of course, I got to push buttons and make it so I can do that. Here we go. Open, open, open. Okay. To anybody who is interested, this month's Patreon photo contest ends on November 30th at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. So give that a shot if you're into it. It's at the $5 Grande tier that you do it. There aren't tons of entries yet, so you could have some fun there. And the prize this month is Road Pig and Raucous. So there you go. If you decide to join the Patreon at that level and you want to enter in, a photo for your character relaxing or characters relaxing, email them to toypixx@gmail.com. That's it as far as the housekeeping goes. Now, let's go check out the chat and see what's going on with all the people. Oh boy, pushing buttons, making things happen. Oh, and we're on YouTube and Twitter tonight. I figured let's see what happens with that. So we'll see if we run into any technical difficulties. Thanks everybody for watching on whichever platform you're on. Star, hey gang, sorry I can't stay. I have a meeting tonight. Have a great show, guys. By the way, no one can have too many SHF Lord of the Rings and Jada Cyberpunk Edge Runners are the perfect figures. There's my 2 cents. But the important part, Star, is when MAFEX goes ahead and solicits Stormtroopers, how many of those are too many, and is that worth it? Do you load up on Stormtroopers from MAFEX, or do you maybe look a little more at SHF? I don't know. I don't know things. Greetings, Sci-Fi George. Nanu, nanu. All right, Hasbro Pulse is doing a holiday sale from now to December 4th, 9 a.m., etc. Buy $75 worth and get 35% off premium members and 25% off for regular customers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I'm so stoked to do these live streams. I don't keep up on this stuff as well as I'd like to. But thankfully, we have people like Sci-Fi George letting you know what's up. So if you hadn't heard about this sale, now you know. Go buy things if you want to buy things. Buying things, it makes everything better. That's what I hear. Skew Raider, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping in tonight, sir. Harry, hi, everyone. Everyone taking advantage of the Black Friday sales? Ooh, we could talk a little bit about that perhaps this fine evening. I have not yet, but I am looking at a few. So we'll see. More of my stuff would probably end up having to be Christmas shopping. Harry, yeah, great sales. Tragic, what is up with you, sir? Thanks for stopping in. Much appreciated. Troy, what's going on, dude? Thanks for stopping by, sir. Good to see you. Harry, that's all I got. That's all I got. Hola, John. What's up, man? Kairos, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping in. So, like I said at the top, we're going to be discussing the figures that went up in the past week that I think are going to look good under your lights in front of your lens. But when I'm all set, I want you guys to throw in some of the figures that you think are going to be that way as well. Also, I decided that we're going to focus a lot more on Toypixx in the 1/12 scale. So that's going to leave out some lines that people maybe want to check out and all that. Don't worry, plenty of people are talking about all the lines out there. That doesn't mean that I'll leave out the NECA animated and tune or animated and comic figures because those tend to skew more 1/12 scale. So we'll be talking about that. Now, let us go and party. Now, the stars of the show, and of course, I've got to look this up just real quick. I know, guys, tonight I'm doing much better because I know exactly what it is I want to talk about. So I'm feeling good about myself right now. We're gonna not kick off with the main question, but instead we'll kick off. Well, let's see, with this guy right here. Show me Batman. He's Batman. So we have Knightmare Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. What is everybody thinking here? Is this a figure that you're going to go out and pick up? I'll be honest. You know me, I love my MAFEX. I want to one day go nuts and get them all. But right now, this isn't a priority for me. But that doesn't mean he doesn't look good. Now, I was listening to Kaiju Daddy talking about this figure because some people are saying, why doesn't he have the cloth goods cloak and coat and all that stuff? I guess this one's a coat. I should learn words. But anyway, one of the things that they're saying, or that Kaiju Daddy said, is he has a lot of weathering on the coat itself, and he's not sure they could have done that too easily when it came to a cloth goods coat. So that's something that made sense to me. I don't know if it really makes sense to anybody else, but yeah, you can see kind of all that weathering. Let's see if I can zoom this in a bit. Of course not. But you can, if you're looking close, you can see all the weathering on the bottom of that coat down there. So yeah, Bats here is one of those figures. Wow, he looks frightened. That looks really good. I wasn't the biggest Snyderverse guy, but I gotta admit, a lot of these designs are really sweet. And this is pretty uncommon. You don't usually get 5 different heads with even a MAFEX figure. And of course, it seems that Warner Brothers has kind of decided, you know what? We're going to have to let our characters have weapons again. So that's very cool to see. And I'm not sure MAFEX has ever done binoculars, though I could be wrong there. Now let's go back. Don't worry, no headaches now. You know what? Let's leave it here just because that's a goofy picture. And let's see what everybody's talking in the chat. Mr. Spencer, I need to get a Batman. That is not the one. He does look good though. That's where I'm at. If I were to get a Zack Snyder Justice League Batman, well, I guess it would be the most recent Zack Snyder Justice League Batman, not that one, not the Knightmare Bat. Just because he has the Affleck head. When it comes to the Knightmare Batman, make mine Mezco. I'm not sure. Have I seen that? Harry, is it out already? Or have they solicited that? Hello, Ghost Tab. Thank you for stopping by, man. Ahoy, wreck ship. Good to see you, sir. All right. So anyway, there is the Knightmare Batman looking all crazy and nuts, and well, maybe not so much. Now, we're going to go now to the question of the night. You guys are going to need to help me here. You know that I could use a lot of help. We're looking at a MAFEX Stormtrooper. Now, I had a guideline way back when. I have a video about it, actually, where I went over what I was calling rules at the time for your collection. And one of the rules for me is you don't buy $100 army builders. Now, the point of that was you just don't buy really expensive army builders. Here's the problem. I don't want army builders that don't have extra hands, and the Black Series, which would be ideal at 20, 25 bucks to get Stormtroopers, they don't have extra hands. So now I'm stuck. And it's a rule. It's a thing I've done to myself. So do I go SHF? Do I go MAFEX? Do I get one of each and compare? I don't know what to do here. And when I do decide which one to go for, if not both, then how many should I get? So let's start with this. How many Stormtroopers do you folks have in your collections? Let's try that and see what we get. Ghost have Bat's arms and coat's colors don't match. Ooh, I didn't even notice. Nope. Okay, got it, got it. So what you're thinking, Harry, is they've got to do a Knightmare Batman. It would be cool to see. Groovy me, what's going on? I already have the older MAFEX JL figures, so I'm skipping a lot of these newer releases. That totally makes all the sense in the world, man. And I hear that that first Batman, the first Zack Snyder Batman, he still holds up pretty well. Wreck ship, oof, kind of rough army build at 114.99. I know, this is my problem. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need stormtroopers. You can't have one stormtrooper, but oof is right. 114 for a 112 stormtrooper. That's like the entire Black Series line in Ollie's. You are not wrong, Ghost Tab. But here's the thing. I think I'd get more enjoyment out of that one stormtrooper than I would the entire Black Series line that is at Ollie's. So I do have to consider that a little bit. Kairos, AliExpress will make MAFEX Stormtroopers for $20. You know what? That's probably very true. I didn't even think about that. Do they make the SHF ones? John, I have one Stormtrooper. It's Luke. It's 3.75 and it's 20 plus years old. Nice. Which line was that? Oh, that wasn't Power. Was it Power of the Force or was it Power of the Jedi? All right, Harry, high-end figures in the front, Black Series in the back. That might be something to consider. I've been thinking I should get SHF Jedi and then fill out the back with the Black Series Jedi that I know SHF is never going to make. Kyra CT Mofex copy are really good. I hear just ordered a CT Brown Wolverine waiting. I've heard the same thing. The only thing, so I watched Robo's review on that one just because I'm curious. I've got the Mofex, so I don't need the CT one, but I am curious. And the only thing that threw me was seeing the little metal rivets in the joint. But everything else looked insane. And from a distance, do you even notice those little rivets? Not rivets, they're kind of like rings, sort of like little tiny washers. Ghost Tab bootlegs can be either Mofex or Figuarts. I bought both. Nice. Okay, maybe that's something. Get a couple Mofex or get a couple Figuarts or get one of each. Decide which one you want and go for bootlegs. Oh dear. But I have to say, this one looks really good. So I don't know. One thing that is kind of throwing me about these is I saw a review of the recent SHF Darth Vader where he was the Anakin one that they basically made the A New Hope one based off of, right? So the Anakin from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, they basically took that and made an A New Hope Darth Vader. And so I saw the review of the Anakin one, and it actually looks so much better than the Mofex that now I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. So I'm on one hand, I feel like I should wait for reviews. On the other hand, is it going to be gone before reviews come out? But yeah, you even get these two head sculpts, all that. I prefer that first one, but I could see me totally using that second one as well. So we shall see. I'm not sure what exactly to do here. This is indeed quite the dilemma. I need to put a lot of these things onto paper or something. Let's see. Harry, I have an extra CT Brown suit. I'm going to paint his claws for the tiger stripe. Nice. Yeah, I've heard, like I said, I've heard really good things too about that thing. Groovy me, you should get one Mofex Stormtrooper and the rest can all be Black Series posing behind your main Mofex Stormtrooper. That's not a bad idea either. See, I like the hand options, and I wish I could see all the different hands with this guy. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Now, let's get out of here. We talked about these a little bit last week. but I'm going to type them in anyway so we can check them out, get slightly better looks here. Even though Star's not here, we get to talk about Cyberpunk Edge Runners a little bit, just a touch here. Now, we're looking at cloth goods on Jada figures, which elevated this one. This is a good size figure. I don't know exactly the height. I'll look at the description and see if it tells us. But David here, who I pretty much have to get, he's $45. He's got cloth goods coats. He's got a cloth goods pair of pants. Everything else, it looks like, from what I can tell, is the same kind of loadout that all other Jada figures come with. So he has an extra head. He has an extra set of hands. He has stuff like weapons that make sense, all that. But I gotta say, at 1/12 scale, for Jada's first crack at cloth goods, as I've looked at these pictures a little closer, I think they've done a really good job. I am impressed. I think that Jada is a force to be reckoned with. And as much as I'd like them to release stuff a little faster, one nice thing here is this gives us all plenty of time to pick up a few at a time and just slowly build up our Jada army. Because make no mistake, kids, that is what's happening here. I shall build up a mighty Jada army. And I think this thing is going to look incredible when it comes to photos. Like, there is no doubt he and Lucy are both going to look awesome. I was trying to see, I want to see kind of, yeah, like it's going to be crazy. You're not going to want to hit him with very hard light because of this jacket. But I mean, hard light like down here would work because it's so much darker, and a hard light work, yeah, a hard light hit could work up here. But you're kind of risking washing a lot of stuff out, so you just got to be careful with that. If you wanted to hit him with a hard light, do like a silhouette thing, this is probably more the look you'd want to go for. But yeah, I think I'm impressed with what Jada's got going with these two. So let's get out of David here real quick, and let's look at Lucy, and then we'll go on to the next stuff. I'm still absolutely shocked that we're getting a figure from Jada with accessories like that. Makes me happy. Lucy is a $30 figure because of the cloth goods, and obviously she doesn't have nearly as much as David does. But again, you're looking at this, it looks like it fits fairly well. It almost looks like the arms are a little puffier than they need to be. But I'm not going to hold that against him considering how well David came out. And in this pose, the arms look fine. So maybe you just want to watch out when you're posing her. You don't want too many straight arm shots. But yeah, I think she looks incredible as well. She obviously she's very light in a lot of her and very dark in other parts. So lighting her up, you kind of want generally kind of an even light. You might want a diffuser and all that stuff, or diffuse the light that's hitting her. But again, you can have fun with hard light. It just depends on the effect you're going for and all that good stuff. But she's going to look very cool posed up with David. I might even have her hanging out with Chester Cheetah. Maybe Ryu hangs out with everybody. Maybe who would be, okay, here's a question that's absolutely non-essential to any kind of discussion ever. Of all the stuff that Jada has released so far as action figures, who would be the leader? I mean, they've done their serial monsters. They've done their Universal monsters. They've done Street Fighter. They've done Mega Man. Now they're into Cyberpunk, Edge Runners. So of all those, and they're going to do Scooby-Doo, who is the leader of your Jada army? And if it's Shaggy, you're host. You're going to be host. I think that's where we're at with that one. Kairos Toypixx, the Mondo Clayface looks insane. It's coming soon. I saw that Mondo Clayface. It does look insane. It looks insanely good. Like, I don't even know what else to say about that thing. I wish, on one hand, from time to time, I'm like, it would be nice to get into 1/6, but on the other hand, the bigger the figure, the harder they are to manipulate for photos. So I kind of watch that, and there's not as much, if you start getting into 1/6, you just aren't going to have as much shelf space for all of it. So I'm careful, I guess, with that stuff. Now, Storm Collectibles continues to go a little nuts with their video game characters. And I got to tell you, if Zangief from Jada looks half as good as Zangief that Storm's making here, we're all going to be in for a real treat. This thing looks ridiculous. I do want to see what's going to happen when it comes to Storm's Arena collection or Arena series, whatever it is, the ones that are actually true 1/12 scale. I'm just curious. I will end up picking up one of those, just my first ever Storm figure, so I can compare it to what Jada's doing at the comparable price point. But to sit here and try and say that Zangief doesn't look awesome, this Zangief looks incredible. And Street Fighter 6. Who played Street Fighter 6? I think I was pretty much out of video games by then. But look at this thing. That thing's a beast. You can't mess with him. And then if you're lighting this guy, he's going to be, if he's like a lot of Storm Collectibles figures, you're going to be able to hit him with hard light. You're going to be able to hit him with soft light. One of the reasons that you don't use hard light a lot is because of the actual finish of the figures. If there's a dull finish on the figures, hard light can give you a really cool effect. But if there's a light, like almost a gloss finish to the figure, it gets a little funkier. Now, you could have mixed paints. Like I know some Star Wars Black Series, like the Imperial officers and all that, they'll have flat gray pants, but then gloss black boots. And that's the way that it's supposed to be. You could hit that with hard light, and it would just look cool because each part is taking in the light like it is supposed to do it. So it just depends on the figure when it comes to the hard light and the colors. Like here, up on Zangief's skin, that would probably work pretty well, but going down to his pants, it just depends because of how light they are. Again, you can always make it work. It's just a little tougher when it comes to certain lighting, for certain poses, for certain figures, for certain finishes, all that good stuff. But yeah, I think this is incredible. I mean, Storm no doubt makes incredible stuff. It's just never been anything I've gotten into because I know the figures are all way too big for the stuff that I collect. Here, we'll stop there. Let's see what's going on with the people. Harry, what do we got here? The Hayatoys Ghost in the Shell standalone complex series. Motoku Kusanagi 1/12 scale will fit in with the Cyberpunk figures. Is she? I forgot she was. That's the major, right? That you guys were telling me about. I forgot that she was Haya. Man, yeah, she looks really good. I might, I know nothing there, but I'm very tempted when it comes to that character. John, my Jada leader is clearly Chester Cheetah. Nice. He's still my absolute favorite of what they've done. That's awesome, John. I wonder, so, okay, we've got Chester Cheetah. We've got Fred and Barney coming down the pike. And then we're going to have Tony the Tiger. Does Chester still beat out Tony the Tiger? It's a question for me as well, because I'm like you. I love Chester. Chester's awesome. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck in that spot also. Asved. All right. Now we have checked those out. There was one more figure, and I can't remember the name. I'm gonna try something here, guys. I'm gonna see if I can remember this. Hey, I did it. Go me. Woohoo! All right, Good Smile Company has this duder, the Fire Emblem Three Houses Pop-Up Parade Byleth male. I don't know what any of those words really mean together, but I can tell you that it's a really cool looking figure. So let's go through, see what we've got here. You know what? I put this up looking at it, thinking, oh, this is a sweet action figure. And now I'm looking at it. This means, you know what this means? It's a statue. I have no reason to look at a statue, but this statue made it into the Toypixx newsletter, which, by the way, if you want the Toypixx newsletter, there is a link in the video description below. And oh, I do want to bring this up, guys. Don't worry, this is shameless, but it's also not shameless. If you go to Entertainment Earth and you find something in stock that you want, especially with all the sales that are going on over there right now, use code Toypixx and you'll save an additional 10%. And I believe they're still doing free shipping for $39 plus. So look at all that stuff. Code Toypixx will save you even more. So if you're looking at Entertainment Earth and you've got something that you've got your eyes on, use that. It should help you out. All right, so here's this. Now, there was one set of figures that popped up while I was prepping everything, and I just didn't have time to show it all, to get it ready to go for the live stream. So I've got to find it here real quick. Oh, where was it? I believe this was it. This Palm Fit stuff. Or Palm Elf, my bad. A skeleton horse. This stuff's ridiculous, of course. But I don't know, as I'm looking at this as well, how big do we have? 1/12 scale, 6.5 inches tall, made of metal and plastic. Whoa. 15 points of articulation, which means this thing is able to move. It's just they didn't show it at all in the product photos. Like, it looks like it's just in the same stance in all the shots. That's not good. And then we've got all this stuff that also says Palm Elf. So let's take a look at this, because this is stuff I have not even looked at this stuff yet, guys. I saw it was here and just didn't have time to check it out. This is 101 Toys, and the brand is the Palm Elf series. Is Palm Elf a manga or an anime or some kind of fiction that I should know about? All right, this thing's pretty rad. And look, they're showing it moving a little bit. But not a lot of it. Oh, look at that. We're getting a little more movement on the horse there. Okay, they're showing that that thing can move. Oh, and all those accessories. This stuff's cool. Like, I don't know what else to say. Now, this is obviously, it looks like it's going to have a very dull finish. So you can light this thing up however you want and be good to go. Maybe a little bit of shine's going to go on with the headdress here and all that. But again, you light it up however you want, just because that's kind of how it should be. You know, bone should be really dull. Gold armor should be really shiny. So if you hit it as if like the sun is hitting it hard, then it should be a really cool photo. But yes, Palm Elf. Mr. Spencer, depends on the fig, but I think that Chester beats out Tony the Tiger, though I expect he'll be great. You know, John, I think you might be right. I think Tony's going to be pretty rad. Groovy me, my Jada leader is Scooby, because I only found out about Jada because they're making a Scooby line. Then they showed off Fred and Barney. Groovy me, we've been speculating a lot about, wouldn't it be cool if Jada decided they're going all in on Hanna-Barbera? Now, for me, my dream line, because Hanna-Barbera is owned by Warner Brothers, would be if Jada jumped in, and this is based on Chester Cheetah, by the way, if Jada jumped into Looney Tunes. And suddenly we've got just this massive Hanna-Barbera and Looney Tunes crossover collection. I would be so excited for that kind of thing. But yeah, I think that somebody told me on one of these streams that June actually said if Fred and Barney do well and Scooby and his line does well and all that, that they are looking at expanding the Hanna-Barbera offerings. So that would just be totally cool. And everybody that talks about it, and let me know if you're in this camp, they want Space Ghost. People dig them some Space Ghost. Kairos, they should thicken the bones a little, like in the Mythic Legion skeletons. I don't know. You know, I mean, maybe, but I gotta say, I'm really stoked about what Mythic Legion showed off recently, beyond just the dragon. But yeah, you know what? It looks a little wide at the shoulders, honestly. Maybe like this thing was a brute of a character. Well, not as much as like the Mythic Legions ones. We're good. We're good. All right. Let's get out of this Paul Melf series figure. And let's see what else we've got. This stuff's just crazy. Egyptian mummy. See, I'm seeing this and I'm thinking this could go for Monster Force as well. And this is 6.5 inches tall, it says. It says 15 points of articulation. So that's not tons, but again, this is a skeleton. Oh, that is so freaky. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you use these for. You use these for your Operation Monster Force Forgotten King. This is his army, besides the Sleepwalkers. Oh, wow. Obi Nobi. Now I kind of need this thing. I wonder, that thing's got to be sold separately, right? Yeah, it looks like what you're getting. It looks like the mummies might be pretty much the same thing. It's just the accessories that they come with are different. But now, what's that? 110 bucks. And that didn't come with the sarcophagus, it didn't look like. Hold on, let me double check that. Mummy figure, 3 interchangeable head sculpts, shoulder, blah, 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 blah. Shield. Oh, this one does come with a sarcophagus. So, I mean, 110 still pretty pricey, but it does come with this thing. So I haven't even looked at the other prices. Hang on, hang on. This is me looking at all this stuff and not paying all my attention. Let's see if we can find like just a normal figure. That was that one. Then you got the one with a horse. This one has a throne. Dang, okay, that one's 115. Come on, guys, show me a normal figure. Medieval knight skeleton. Okay, 85. So that's still pricey. But we're going to go through all these real quick. I was just trying to find the price for these things, see what we've got going on. 115. They are cool, but you got to be into them, I think, to really load up on them. Because this is one of those things that if Paul Melf is a thing, then obviously it's going to have a built-in audience. But if they're trying their own line and their own new brand, it's going to be a little tougher for them to take hold. But this thing is frightening. Look at see if I can see if there's a figure with a close-up on its face. Oh, that throne's pretty cool. I wonder if I missed it on the other mummies. Let's head back here. Look at his head right there. Like he's got the one eye covered. Almost like it was poked out in life, in battle. Yeah, and I can't see anything else. This is probably the best look we've got of it. What's going on, Anton? Thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. Well, yeah, I think this stuff, I think it's really cool. I don't know that it's for me, but this is stuff that when people get a hold of them, they'll be able to take some wicked pictures of these things. This is another medieval knight. So basically, what it looks like they've got is they've just got a skeleton body that they just keep putting different things on, which I know I said earlier, but as I go further, it seems to be proving true, maybe with different heads. Like, look at that. That's cool. Yep. We've got, I think, pretty much a basic skeleton body. But then when you read the description, hang on. Let me get out of here. I want to find out. Ooh, I like the lion. Hold on, hold on. I like the back of the cape there. Might be more of a horse than a lion, but who knows? Let me see. 6 interchangeable hands. Okay, it doesn't say anything about interchangeable faces for this one. Now, they're all listed at 6.5 inches, even the horse, so I don't know how accurate some of this sizing is, but I figured I should bring it up anyway. Now, I've always liked the look of the medieval stuff. So we've got this one in his knight armor. Ooh. Doing more things. Oh, that is freaky and cool. Now, see, like that horse, could it really be 6.5 inches? I guess, but I don't know. Speaking of, I should go back and see how much the horse is. Because a bone, like a skeleton horse, is pretty cool. Let's see. Bill. Yep. No other heads on this guy either. Hang on. I'm going to go back real quick and then we'll check the last one. I want to see what the price was on the skeleton horse. 48 bucks. 48 bucks for a skeleton horse might be kind of cool, gang. That might almost, I don't want to say it's a deal, but that is pretty cool considering I'm not sure we've seen a skeleton horse in the past. And now this is the last one that I noticed. Version C. All right, so we've got all kinds of versions. He's another $85 figure. Got the shield, got the mask, got the sword. Love the mask. The helmet's awesome. Oh, and they keep putting the knights on the horses. See, I do kind of like this whole skeleton warrior thing. Is that, oh my goodness, that's a skeleton with facial hair. Ladies and gents, don't mess with that handsome well, you know. See, yep, there you go. Extra hands, look at all that armor. This thing is magnificent. But yeah, I wanted to come in here and talk about this Palm Elf series because if the finish holds up and if I'm right and these are kind of a dull finish on these skeletons, then what we're going to have are really cool photos that come from these things. And truly, I'm really digging that horse. I don't know if he's long for the Toypixx collection, but I am digging it. Now, next spot we're going to go to is the Entertainment Earth. Again, you'll save the money if it's in stock. If it's not in stock, the only person that using Toypixx does good is me. But if it is in stock, it helps you and me. So that's why I like to talk about that. Let's see. Oh, and it says on the top here, save up to 50 bucks plus free shipping. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see what all's going on there. But I wanted to go to action figures and I wanted to check out newly listed here. I know. We've got her newly added. My apologies. Again, what is that? Did I miss this? Oh, 8-inch action figure. Nope, I did not miss this. I am happy with myself. Now we've got this Iron Man here. And I don't know, you guys need to let me know, is this a reissue? And while you're trying to figure that out, let's see what the chat's got talking. What the chat's chatting. Whoop. Groovy me. Well, I'm definitely going to buy all of their Scooby and Flintstones line and take tons of pictures. Same goes for a Looney Tunes line if they ever do go that way. Awesome, Groovy me. We shall compare photos. That will be a blast. KJ, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Are you a fan of Ray Harryhausen? I know I've seen things that are Ray Harryhausen, but I couldn't necessarily tell you what they are, which, again, as always with stuff, makes me a bad nerd. So help me out. Let me know what some stuff that he's done is. Kyrus, that new figure from Berserker Zob is pretty impressive. Toypixx, kind of expensive. Berserker Zob. Let's see. SH, huh? Yeah, the Iron Man is a repaint of the 3.0 Mark 7, I think. Okay, thank you, Toypixx. Thank you, Toypixx. Hello. Thank you, Kyrus. I appreciate it. Now, you're talking about Zob. We will come back to Zob. We're just about done chatting all this stuff because there wasn't tons that went up this past week that's going to be awesome. Now, obviously, Iron Man here is just a repaint, it sounds like, but you know what you're getting when you get a 3.0 product. The finish is going to be nice. It's going to look good under most any lighting conditions. So if you dig Iron Man and you dig the 3-0 stuff, I don't see why you wouldn't go for it. All right, we've talked about David and Lucy. Oh, where are you? I know exactly who I'm looking for, and he's not showing up. What a putz. What a putz. Oh, did I not click? Guys, I blew it a little bit. Hold on. All right. Normally, this would have happened under newly added, but what is everybody thinking of the Mezco Hugh Jackman Wolverine? I'll be honest, I don't think it looks that bad. Like, it's not perfect. Mezco always does something around the eyes that doesn't seem quite right, but it's pretty good, especially considering a lot of their other stuff. Like if we've got these, yeah, I think it's just the eyes that really throw me. Now the masks look incredible. Looks like they crushed it there, especially this middle one. But that's something I need to maybe give Mezco a shot at some point. Although I'm waiting for the perfect Gomez or to finally decide to pull the trigger on an eBay Gomez. But I love the posing they did here. They made a lot of cool things happen with this figure. And there, the profile looks pretty good. So it's almost like at certain angles, I mean, like a lot of figures, at certain angles, it's going to look a lot more like Hugh than it will in other angles. So let's see what we've got here. Anton, well, just to start, Earth versus the Flying Saucers, 20,000 miles to Earth. I don't know Earth versus the Flying Saucers. Oh dear, what have I done? Seven Voyages of Sinbad, or Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, Clash of the Titans. Ah, okay. I know Clash of the Titans. I've heard of the others, but I kind of know Clash of the Titans. That's not to say I know it really well and that I watched it. It's, bad nerd. From the land beyond, beyond, beyond hope and fear, I beg you, Genie, now appear. Oh, see, now you're just quoting lines. Does the Wolverine come with a mask? Oh yeah, he's got it. And he does look good. I can't take this away from Mezco. That's a good, and it's of course a good spread of accessories. But I didn't look at the price. Like it's a good spread of accessories, but it's not overloaded. Like they usually really load their characters out. Now, the one thing here is I don't think they usually go this nuts with heads when it comes to Mezco. Like sometimes they do, but most of the time, I don't think you're going to get this many heads with their figures. But let me see here. Let's double check the price on this bad boy. 125. I don't know. I don't know. All you Mezco collectors, what are you feeling about that price there? Let me know what you're thinking. Jason and the Argonauts is a favorite of mine. There's stop motion skeletons in it. Ooh, was Harryhausen known for more of the stop motion, like giant creatures and stuff like that? Because that would be sweet to check out. All right, now let's jump out of Wolvie here. Not really jump out of Wolvie. That would be odd. There we go. Now we're going more the newly added style that I like to see. See? That's how it should have been. That Wolverine should have popped up in there. Now, what we've got here, and we've talked about them some for sure, but they just recently went up for pre-order. Now I want to take some time to really look at the details a little bit on these. SHF's cloth goods are sometimes suspect. I know I've seen reviews of their Ahsoka versus the MAFEX Ahsoka. Their Ahsoka has a better Rosario Dawson likeness, but the cape or the cloak is much better on the MAFEX Ahsoka. Man, words are getting tricky for me here. But this cape doesn't look too bad, so we'll have to see what goes on. How many of you are big time Lord of the Rings fans? I know that I keep hearing people say that they don't necessarily dig the likeness when it comes to Frodo and when it comes to Aragorn here. So I'm curious, do you, if even if you don't dig the likeness, are you still going to go nuts for these? Because it does seem like Lord of the Rings has had kind of not the most representation when it comes to action figures in recent years. I will say I love this pose. And if SHF does what they do with finishes normally and how this finish looks, it's going to be pretty dull. You're going to be able to hit this with all kinds of light, and it's going to make for some incredible pictures. I love the look there. I don't know. I don't know my Lord of the Rings. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did see these movies, but I never went back and watched them a second time. So I don't know him like a lot of people know him. We've got slightly angrier Aragorn there. And I don't know if his coat ever did that, or cloak, or whatever we're looking at. Now, it does seem that the height from him to Frodo might be, I don't know. Do you think he's too tall? Oh, that's a cool shot. And this gives us a little bit more of a hint as to how light is going to hit the figure. There you go. Okay, so he's going to have kind of that same SHF shine that they've usually got, but it's not glistening, and I'm talking about when they get hit in the hair there. We're not talking a glisten at all. Obviously, cloth is going to soak up light the way cloth does, which is fine. And they did hit him with pretty hard light here. And I think he still looks pretty good. So there you go. I think Aragorn's looking the part. But let's see what everybody's talking here. Find out what's up. Not chastising you for being a bad nerd, but yes, that is what Radiation or Ray Harryhausen was famous for. Big giant monsters. He worked on Mighty Joe Young, the original. See, I know Mighty Joe Young was a thing, but I never saw it. I am a terrible nerd. I have graduated from bad nerd to terrible nerd. And don't worry, Anton. I know. You're being cool. I'm good. Kairos, yeah, Harryhausen was an animator with stop motion puppets. He inspired a lot of artists. I gotta look him up more, obviously. Ghost have. I wouldn't mind if they do a Gandalf figure. I mean, if these things do well, and it sounds like people are into them, even if they're not perfect likenesses, I have to think they'll do a Gandalf. Anton, I love the movies. I don't collect the action figures, but they are cool. Yeah, yeah. I need to learn more. I need to read maybe. I'm not a fan of SHF figures. I have one and I was disappointed in it. Which one did you have, John? I have the only ones I have right now are the Mandalorian Luke Skywalker, and it's probably the best Mark Hamill head sculpt that I've seen anyway. And I have the Return of the Jedi SHF Darth Vader, and I think he's a really good figure, but the New Hope one's going to be better just because he actually has the cloth, like the skirt piece. So I'm looking forward to picking that one up. But I'm curious which one you have so I can perhaps avoid it. Tragic. I do want to get the Mezco Deadpool and Wolverine. I want the Mez Deadpool because of the dog he comes with. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we've all bought action figures just because of some kind of rad accessory it had. Mr. Spencer, I have John Walker, Captain America. Got it. Okay, okay. Well, I'm safe because I'm not really the MCU kind of collector anyway, but that sucks. That sucks. I would recommend if you're into the Star Wars quite a bit, trying for that Mandalorian Luke Skywalker, only because he's not crazy pricey and he does have a really good likeness. The only thing is his head is a little loose on the peg. It's got some good points, but it's off scale versus 6 inch. I dislike how the hands and head change. Gotcha. Gotcha. And yeah, SHF does scale a little smaller. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with a whole lot of other stuff when it comes to what they're doing. I have heard that they're starting to increase their sizing a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know at what point we can look at them and say, okay, these will go perfectly with the rest of our 112 scale stuff. He's got a cool throwing shield effect, though. Nice. Okay. Now let's get out of here with our boy Aragorn. See if it'll actually see. This is throwing me off. All right, let's just type in Frodo and Gollum. And we want to check these out. The precious. Now, Gollum, let's see. I want to see how well Gollum's hit with light. Right down here, because you can tell, obviously, he's basically just a light figure all the way around, with the exception of, well, his covering garment for his unmentionables. But other than that, we've got a pretty pale figure here. So I am curious, this, depending on how hard this light is, if that's fairly hard light, which I can't imagine it is, then he's going to be okay for all the things. But let's keep going through. Let's see an Elijah here. I can see a little bit of Elijah in there, but I also know what people are talking about when they say it's not quite right. He does have some hairy feet, it looks like. Kind of clean, no wash or anything. So maybe this is when he first starts out on his quest. But yeah, I think the colors look really good. I think when it comes to photos, I think he's going to be a great figure to shoot, honestly. Let's see if we get a slightly better. Yeah, I can see Elijah in there a little bit. That's kind of a cool shot. It doesn't tell us much about how all it's going to hit. Like it looks like he does have some actual light hitting him here, but then it also looks like they did a vignette either with Photoshop or used a photo filter to make it happen along the edges. So we're not getting much of a story there. Now Gollum, ain't he the precious? Is he even? He's basically a statue, isn't he? He looks like he might have a little bit of movement at the elbow or at the at the elbows, at the shoulder, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe Gollum will get his own figure at some point. Well, hold on now. I say that. No, that could have been just shoulder movement with his arm up like that. And then obviously he's got some neck articulation as well. He does look good. Like I can't sit here and say, "No, he looks like crap." There we go. Okay, in this picture, I think Aragorn and Frodo look sized about right. But yeah, I didn't learn much as far as lighting is concerned when it comes to our boy Gollum here. But I think you're going to be good. Honestly, and like I say, if you just play around with your lighting setups and everything else, you're going to be able to make whatever kind of shot you want to happen happen. It's just sometimes it's going to be tougher than other times. Like, for instance, if you're trying to shoot a character that's wearing a white costume, you're going to have to set things up totally different than if you're trying to shoot a character that's wearing a black costume. It's just how it is. It's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, we've got all kinds of. I mean, I'll admit, I'm most excited about the Stormtrooper and David and Lucy when it comes to this past week's stuff. But I don't know. I don't know what everybody else is feeling here. What's everybody else digging? I have no idea. Ghost have, if they remake Lord of the Rings, they would rename him Gandalf the Simp. Oh dear. Oh dear. Harry, you need to dirty up that Gollum. Yep, I'm thinking you're gonna need some washes with that guy. Ghost have, Frodo's face looks like he just watched Ring of Power. Oh, I haven't seen Ring of Power either. I am a bad nerd. All right, now, who was it that talked about Zob? Z-O-B, was that right? Because we want to see that. The two figures, this is the time of the show where you guys take charge. Let me know what the stuff is that you noticed in the past week that went up for pre-order that you think looks rad. Let's see, does Frodo's finger come out? Or let's see, when does Frodo's figure come out? Let's see, hold on. Let me see if I can figure this out here real quick. Not a whole lot of real quick here going on. Typing in Frodo, show me Frodo. All right, it's showing at least at Entertainment Earth, July 2025, which I assume is going to be most everyone else's listing. Entertainment Earth, as much as I dig them, as much as I dig getting my discounts and everything, they do tend to be a little later than most places. So if you want them fast, figure that into your equation. Okie dokie, Kairos. There's a horde of Mythic Legions coming next month overseas. Skeletons and Knights. Really? So I knew about the recent, like the snake people and the giant Leodicius, obviously the dragon and all that stuff. So are these reissues or are these brand new Skeletons and Knights using maybe the double jointed limbs? Because that's the stuff that has me really interested in Mythic Legions right now. So tell me more. I saw 112 scale veteran William on Monster Force went up for pre-order. What? Did he? Is he back up? Kilowog? Hang on, guys. I need to go back to BBTS now. I was just thinking, man, it stinks that he's out. Or like I can't get him now because oh my gosh. He is back up for pre-order. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed Kilowog the first time around, go get you some Kilowog like I'm going to do. That's awesome. I am crazy stoked about that. Figuarts Garo came out this week. Figuarts Garo. Let's see. That was Common Rider. Is that true, Ghost Have? You passed by that Riddler figure that looks interesting. Oh, okay. So the Riddler figure it's going to be the DC Direct. It's one of McFarlane's reissues from when DC Direct had the Batman the Animated Series license. So I'll go back to it. But I was really stoked about Kilowog. Hang on. I think I saw him on the homepage here at BBTS. Wait, what are those Ghostbusters? Oh, 3.75. Never mind. Okay, featured pre-orders here. Here's the Riddler that you saw there, Anton. He is DC Direct. I believe, from what I understand, all of these figures are reissues of figures that you could have gotten way back when with DC Direct, whether it was the new Batman Adventures or Batman the Animated Series. So you're not getting tons of articulation here, which is why I wouldn't normally talk about this figure, but he looks the part. Like that's one thing that you always got to give the DC Direct figures from way back is they always looked good. But they're more for standing on the shelf than I would say they are for taking photos. However, if you get a big group of villains and all that stuff together like Riddler, that would make a really cool photo. Throw in the Joker, throw in Riddler, throw in a Clayface. They've got a Scarecrow too that looks really cool. From the new Batman Adventures. So yeah, that's the Riddler that you were wondering about. Ghost have Gollum bit off Frodo's finger. Does the figure have a... Oh, got it. I did not know that. This is, I'm telling you, horrible nerd, abysmal nerd. But bad nerd is going to look better on a t-shirt. Okay, let's see here. See if I can just see Frodo up here real quick. Here we go. Oh yeah, Monkey D Luffy went up for pre-order as well. The one in whatever uniform this is. There's a look at that ghost tab. A Common Rider 555 SH Figure Arts Takumi Inui exclusive action figure. Now, I don't know anything about that. I already said words I don't understand, but he might be something to check out. Let me go look at the accessories here real quick, Ghost Tab. Let's see, Frodo Baggins figure, 5 interchangeable hand parts, 2 left, 3 right, interchangeable face part, Sting set, cloth cloak, Gollum figure. So it doesn't say anything about that, but let's look. Let's try and take a more careful look at the hands here. And I might need to go to Entertainment Earth because Big Bad Toy Store, the way they're doing their photos now, it's a lot harder to zoom in and see what's going on in the photos themselves. Right now, what's going on there? How many fingers should Frodo have? Are these guys 4 or 5 fingers? I'm sorry, 3 or 4 fingers and a thumb. Yep, terrible nerd. Zod, the Immortal from Berserk anime, badass. Okay, yep, I did see him. We've seen him in the past. Hold on. He's like a big brute looking dude, right? Yeah, there we go. Is this the one you guys were talking about? Because, yeah, we've talked about him before. But he is, he's huge. Don't mess with this guy. I have a bad feeling your day doesn't end well if you mess with your man Zod here. Another figure that looks like he's going to be just an absolute blast to photograph, just because of like how they really sculpted in all the musculature and all the details. If you hit this with fairly hard light, you will see all this stuff. Even if you hit it with some soft light off to the side, you'll see all this, kind of like what they did here. And it just makes for really interesting pictures. Kyrus, what do we have here? Brand new skeletons, new knights. Yeah, pretty nice. Oh no. All right. New Mythic Legion stuff, huh? Get him, Dave. Zod? I mean, he's cool. See, Garo, it's its own show. It's tokusatsu for adults. Okay. Let's see. Thank you. He looks great. Yeah, Anton, he's really cool. I think I'm getting Frodo to go along with my skeleton warriors. I'm all in on SHF Lord of the Rings. Hope they do Witch King. What's up, the Toy Odyssey? Thank you for stopping by, man. And that's pretty cool. It looks like a lot of people, this is going to be right up their alley. That's Zod's human form. He turns to a giant minotaur with wings. Ooh, have they made that? Yeah, that looks awesome, but he's kind of pricey. Yeah, that's a couple bucks. I do suggest when it comes to SHF and MAFEX and all those import companies, looking at sites like AmiAmi, I will tell you that the only site I've never had trouble with is AmiAmi. So now I say that I've never had to do anything as far as customer service is concerned either. So you have to take that part with a grain of salt. But anytime I order from AmiAmi, it usually gets here fairly quickly, and the figure's awesome. And I tend to save roughly between AmiAmi and BBTS, even with the DHL shipping, which is one of the pricier shipping options. I usually save around 30 bucks per figure when it comes to MAFEX anyway. I haven't ordered SHF yet. So just consider when you're ordering an import figure, give something like AmiAmi a try. Hobby Genki is also one that you might want to try. They tend to be the cheapest, but they take longer to get to you. So those are just things you have to figure out, things you have to think about a little bit when you're ordering this stuff. But they are much cheaper when you order them from import sites. Anton Zod versus Conan the Barbarian. Man, this thing versus, say, a Mezco Conan would be a blast to see. Ghost Tab, Amazon Japan. It's cheaper. I bought Superman Rush version for 79 USD out the door. Dude, that's right. I forgot about that. Have you gotten them yet? And if so, what do you think? And yeah, Amazon Japan is one that you have to create a new login for. I know chances are most everybody watching this stream already has an Amazon account. But when it comes to Amazon Japan and I believe Amazon China, you have to create separate accounts for those two. So even if you have Amazon US, you still have to create a separate account for Amazon Japan. But that's going to be worth it. That's where I was able to find my SHF Yoda. Harry, what do you think about the NECA Lair mess? Oh man. Oh, Harry, why you got to do that? I think so okay. If you're somebody that got a second NECA Lair, you should probably I would say the right thing to do would have been to get a hold of NECA and say, hey, you guys sent me a second layer. If you send somebody to pick it up, I'll just hand it to you and all that because I know I didn't order it. But that's the moral side for the customer. The moral side for NECA is you never threaten your customer ever. Like that is business idiocy. You never call out your customer, you never do that stuff. We're seeing a lot of that happening in the entertainment industry, and oddly enough, the entertainment industry isn't making bank like they used to. And that's going to be the same problem that goes on with NECA is they're calling out their customers and all that stuff and saying, if you don't return this, you're bad people. So on the moral side or the right thing to do side from the customer perspective, if you got a second one, it would have been best to just get a hold of NECA and say, hey, come get this from me. I know you guys didn't mean to send it to me. And on the NECA side, it would have been much smarter to just simply say, hey guys, we accidentally sent a second. Could you please, like, if we send you stuff, we send somebody to pick it up. Do you mind if we stop by your place and grab it from you? Apologies for any inconvenience and all that. That's how you handle that. You don't say, by the way, if you don't return this, then you might not be able to shop on our store. Also, we'll end up charging your card later on down the line, which I haven't looked up the law myself. I've seen other people quoting the FTC and all that. So I would say, honestly, I would say NECA is more in the wrong here than consumers that didn't return the item. Now, I'm not saying either one is 100% in the right. I'm just saying from what looks like a law standpoint and from a morality or the right thing to do standpoint, NECA's got both of those strikes. The customer, some of the consumers just have the right thing to do strike. Some of them, I'm sure, sent it back. But what NECA is doing is unconscionable and should not be allowed, bar none. Like they have to know. Like I'm a guy that owns a business, right? If I start calling out my customers, I better just expect that my doors are going to get shut. Like there's no, you don't do that. That's one of the dumbest things you can do in business. There are some branding rules that I give everybody when they start out because they'll ask, what should I do for my business, all that stuff. I'm like, there's a few things to keep in mind that you want to do. One, you want to just be cool to everybody. Hold the doors, smile to people. And I'm talking when you're just out and about because you never know when that person's going to walk through your doors wanting to buy something. The second one is be exactly who you say you are online. So, like, if you're going to sit there and say, this is what our business stands for, then every interaction the customer has with every representative from that company needs to feel that. And then the third one is you got to do what you say you're going to do. In NECA's instance, hey, you guys pre ordered a ton of layers from us. Now it's on us to make sure you get your layers. NECA blew it in that one. NECA blew it in probably pretty much all of those, right? And then you can keep going down the line. You don't want to be too radical with your political messaging. Like if you say something that's real center of the road, like I don't know, I don't even want to throw up something, But you guys know what centrist stuff is, what more things that everybody thinks is cool is. You can take that kind of stand because everybody will be like, well, that's awesome. But if you do something like take a really far right stand or take a really far left stand, right away you're alienating a ton of people. So there's multiple things. Obviously, what NECA did was completely unconscionable, completely idiotic. If you're somebody that owns that business, like the person that owns NECA, somebody needs to be fired. And if it is sabotage from within, that's some rumor that I've been hearing. I don't know. Somebody needs to be fired, and then their direct report probably needs to be fired. Like that's not good. It's not a good look for a business. And then a sincere apology needs to be sent out to every NECA customer, not just the ones that have to do with the lab. I got MAFEX Superman on Saturday. Haven't opened it yet. Ghost have. You got to open that. That's an awesome super. That is like the Superman. Let's see. Fresh Monkey Fiction is doing a line called Space Zombies from Mars. I personally don't care about zombies, but the 6-inch 1950s style astronauts are fantastic. Is it okay? So I said Fresh Monkey Fiction. Is there a bad Monkey Fiction as well, Sci-Fi George? Or am I just off? Or you off? I don't know. Either way, I want to see that line. I think they've just shown prototypes so far, right? Looks like NECA needs to read Federal Trade Commission penalty offense for selling unordered merchandise. Long story short, it's illegal. Now, see, I've seen all the statutes, I've seen all that stuff. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what we've got as far as workarounds are concerned, you know? But I'm sure people have fought that and won just because lawyers. Anton, terrible customer service is not cool. That is beyond true. And this goes beyond terrible customer service. This is threatening your customer base. NECA could have played up the idea that the dupes mean that other customers will be delayed in getting their orders. The community is pretty cool and would be willing to help each other. That's true. And then to fire off the guilt trip about you're keeping it from a fellow collector, it's just bad messaging all the way around. Like, normally, I am not a fan to sit here. I'm not a person who's going to sit here and say somebody's got to lose their job. It's possible multiple people have to lose their jobs over this. As a business, NECA should have taken the L, either refunded people that didn't get the layer and give them a gift card, or offer the people that got an extra one an incentive to return the item. Now, they did give an incentive. They told them $100, what was it? I think $100 store credit. So they did try and give an incentive. The thing is, a lot of people that got the second one either gave them away, they put them on eBay, all that stuff. And the eBay stuff, that's a little bit better than getting $100 from NECA. See, Ghost Tab, they may not be able to. This is a big enough money amount that they just can't take the L. It could break them, you know, and there is something about the minimum order quantity. So it's possible that if they tried again, you're looking at, what was it? There's one, I think it was around 1900 or 2000. Let's just say it was 2000 that were made. They sell them for 300. So you're looking at $600,000 that they would have gotten gross, minus whatever they had to pay to get them made, to get them shipped, to do all those things. How much did they? I mean, they probably didn't take the hit on those, but they did take a hit in shipping. And now if they go around and turn around and try and have the factory make a lot more, it could. I mean, John's right. This could be a serious thing. And it's not just this. It sounds like they've had this problem with multiple items. It's just the layers, the pricey one that everybody's talking about right now. This smells of make or break for the company. And that's kind of what I thought. It smelled desperate. Like, it seemed very desperate to me when you start threatening your customers. Either you're a very new business that doesn't know what you're doing, or you're in trouble. And I think that's what's going on. I think you're 1,000% right, John. Michael Jordan said it best. Republicans buy sneakers too. I think that was I don't know. I think that might have been, I'm not sure. I read something about that way back when. That's what insurance is for. It is what insurance is for. This is fair. Ghost Tab, NECA could have done another batch of Donnie's Lair, send half to the people that didn't get it, or sell it for higher price to people that missed it. Add a few accessories. I just don't know that they've. I think the problem there right now, Ghost Tab, I don't know that they've got the money to fund another run. I truly think that might be. I think John hit it on the head. NECA doubled down and sent a second threatening email. They did. I know it's not. It is not a good look at all. And I'm not the guy that likes to get into this stuff, but as you're watching this stuff unfold, you're just going, holy crap. I'll be right back. I'm going out to get turkey for Michael, my dog. Dude, Michael gets turkey? That's kind of awesome, Kyrus. Nathaniel Avery, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in. The shipping has to cost them a fortune to prepay return items. Very true. And can you imagine what it costs them to accidentally ship things to people? Like, that's insane. I mean, these are not tiny items here. So, see, plus NECA tried to bully people and said they'd charge their cards, which is illegal. MoviePass did this. As long as they think you don't know your rights, they'll use you every time. You know what? I did not know MoviePass tried that. And that's the one part, that was the sticking point that I wasn't 100% sure on. It seemed that the FTC language was very clear, and that should be exactly what happens, is that it is illegal and people just say, yeah, no, I'm not going to accept the charge or whatever. But you just never know who's going to try and skirt what, you know? John, they can't do another run. That's not how it works. They're selling it direct. They're not making huge markup on these. I hope they have insurance, but it may not help much. Yep. Ray Paz, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in. Hey, all that looks like a cool figure. Zod here is a very cool figure. They're trying to talk me into getting them, and it makes me sad because I have other stuff I have to buy. Harry, G.I. Joe Classified Series 127, Night Force, Jason Shockwave Faria, and Night Pursuit Cycle is 29 bucks on Walmart. Ladies and gentlemen, do your thing if you need that guy. Now, I saw Jinx. I'm still curious about Jinx. She's kind of fallen down the priority list, but I saw she was 17 something on Walmart. So I don't know. I'm not sure that's low enough for her to climb back up, but we'll see. John, I worked at Games Workshop when they had to pay to return a bunch of small airbrushes, and the shipping was a ton. Oh man. Yeah, so shipping's gotta kill. I mean, you're talking, like you said, small airbrushes versus giant box, you know? Nathaniel, is that in store only or online too? At Harry. What do you got, Harry? What do you got? Yep. Online. Let's see. Watch Berserk, Dave. It's like Lord of the Rings, but hardcore. Oh dear. Ray, that's so messed up. I paid full price. I'm happy for those that get it at this reduced price, but it hurts that they do that. Yep. Hmm. Anyway, all right. So we had all that stuff. Well, I'm going to watch some football now. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, Anton. Ladies and gentlemen, before, we'll keep going here, but before the live stream ends, so everybody knows, because Thanksgiving is Thursday, what I'm going to do instead is have the live stream, what would normally be Thursday, I'm going to have it Wednesday night. I'll come up with some kind of thankful topic. Thankful for action figure photography. Who knows? But yeah, that's what's going to happen. Is this Thursday's live stream ain't happening. Instead, it's happening on Wednesday. Ray, happy Turkey Day, Anton. Okay, now, who brought up those mythics? Cool beans, Ray. I appreciate it. Who brought up the mythics and where can I find them? I want to see these things now that they're the new skeletons and knights. MoviePass did charge people's cards even after they canceled the service. I got a new card before this happened, so they couldn't charge me after I stopped their service. Wow. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the language seems cut and dry, but obviously they'll do it anyway. So yeah, folks, I mean, I've heard the recommendation is discontinue your card, but I know that could be a pain in the butt. So who knows? But yeah, I want to know real quick where I can find those Mythic Legions figures, those knights and mummies that are new. Ray, anyway, I'll catch the replay since you're almost done. If I don't catch you, happy Thanksgiving, Dave and chat. Ray, you too, man. I appreciate you stopping by. It's always a blast. Can't wait to see you on here again. All right. All right. I see how it is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what I've got here if I type Mythic Legions on BBTS, Undead Builder Pack. See, a lot of this stuff, I've always thought Mythic Legion stuff looked really cool. I just haven't, because of their limited articulation, I just haven't gotten it. Why does Joy Toy show up when I type Mythic Legions? Something is wrong. Cosmic Legions. All right, so maybe the knights and the skeletons aren't here. Let's head back to the chat, see what we got. All right, you know what? How about this? Let's look up the Four Horsemen. Yeah, Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. That is not what I mean, and you know it, Google. Let's see, Four Horsemen Studios. Here we go. Let's see if we get anything here. We oftentimes forget to go to the obvious places, and by we, I mean me. The lore, factions, waves released, the map, let's see, art, mythic checklist, the armory. Ooh, look at this, guys. Okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, apparently there's a pronunciation key on the Four Horsemen's website. That's kind of awesome. That's cool attention to detail. My apologies. You guys might know this stuff. Special projects, updates. Let's see what the latest news is. Full schedule for Mythic Week, huh? Full details on this year's trio of events. Intern for a day, G-Con, Reign of the Beasts, and Legions Con. Wait, Graveyard Skeletons pre-order. Wait, that wasn't it though, was it? Help me out, guys. Help me out. I want to know about these knights and that skeleton. Juan Robles, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in. John, Mythic Legions is cool, but only so much funds to go around. I need a higher paying job or to sell a kidney. I wonder how much you could get for a kidney. I mean, you could get an entire wave of Mythic Legions if you sell a kidney, at least, John. You might actually maybe forgo the wave and get Byleth, get the dragon. Because I think a kidney would be worth a Mythic Legions dragon. So give that a shot. See what you can do on the black market. You might be able to swing something there. I don't think the graveyard skeletons have any kind of new articulation. I remember seeing them. Well, darn. All right, hold on. Let's go to the shop and see if maybe there's something I'm missing here. Oh, there's something else, guys. So the Reign of the Beasts pre-orders stop on December 29th. So there you go. Oh, can somebody answer this for me? Because I would be new to Mythic Legions if I started picking this stuff up. Does Big Bad Toy Store usually get these waves? That's something I'd be curious about. Because I would rather probably do like a payment plan if I were to go in on these guys than I would like if I were to go in on the all-in package. Then Like, I'd rather do that than pay the 300 or something in one fell swoop. So let me know if you guys know. Let's see, Dragon Esta. Yeah, that's a beautiful dragon. BBTS usually sells Mythic Legions. Awesome. I don't know about that monstrosity of a dragon. I think it's a beautiful dragon Ghost tab. And it's worth at least a kidney. I mean, I think we've pretty much established that tonight. Oh, look, guys, you can all get me gift cards. I'm kidding. That's kind of cool, though. I didn't know that Mythic Legions had gift cards or that the Four Horsemen had that. All right. Well, I was hoping to find something. Let's try. Okay, one last spot I can think of to try to learn about these. Although I'm not sure, does Toy Arc really cover things like Mythic Legions? I'm not seeing things. Dang, I was hoping to see what you guys were talking about as far as those skeletons are concerned and all that. Harry, what do you got? BBTS gets pretty much everything, but if you pre-order, you're sure to get all the figures you want. Yep. I was just wondering if I'd be able to get the pre-order on BBTS. John, can I send you a kidney instead of a gift card? I'd have to get you a Byleth, though, I feel like. And I got to get myself a Byleth. Maybe. I missed it. How much is the dragon? They haven't announced yet, Ghost Tav. I want them to. I would like them to. I've heard rumors of, what did they say? I think they said something like it's a lot more than 200 and a lot less than 650, I think is what was said. But the thing is, we don't know if that's for the basic pack or if that's for everything. So you can also, I think he has a different neck that is an add-on piece, and he has different wings, like more spread out wings. But I think there's something else, maybe the fire accessory or something. But yeah, we don't know if what they're saying there means the base dragon or if it means everything dragon. And even then, that's a pretty vague number that we're working with. Ghost Tab, I watched Midnight Cowboy. I'll get the money. You're good, man. Now, I was hoping I could find that the what you guys were talking about with the skeletons and the knights and all that, but I will definitely be staying tuned to the whole Mythic Legions page to see what I can find because I know you guys have the Four Horsemen page up right now. I opened up a Toy Arc tab so I could try and figure out if they've got them, and they didn't say anything about it. So I'm guessing nay. All right, so we're going to go just a couple more minutes, gang. Is there anything else that I need to look at? Tell you what, I did hear Mondo Clayface. Let's look at the Mondo Clayface from Designer Con. Ah, look at this. He's on the Insta. And don't worry, I will be sharing this tab here. And I know that's not generally something that I talk about just because of the size, and I want to try and keep things mostly to 1/12 scale, but this is a pretty figure, so we'll check it out anyway. Here is the Mondo 1/6 scale Clayface. That thing is amazing. That is ridiculously cool. I need to come up with different adjectives, but check that thing out. That is straight out of the animated series. And I love the big Clayface pile going on the left, too. Like on the ground with just his head poking up. And this is, my bad, what do we have? In Pursuit of Toys is the page that I'm looking at right now, or is the, you know, that's the person that took the pictures. Yeah, that's cool. Yep, I can't think of anything to add to that. That thing's just awesome. Ghost have no soul of Chogokin for me for a year if the dragon is over 500 USD. Man, you know what stinks is I want it. I actually, guys, okay, here's how insane I'm feeling right now. I want to go all in on that wave of mythics, but if I go all in on that and then they do the thing where they say, yeah, and then we're going to release the dragon in January, I don't know what to do. Like they have said there's going to be a payment plan, but there's so much stuff that's coming out that I've already kind of budgeted for. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Toypixx, can you order the skeletons in BBTS? Hang on, Kyrus. Let me check on that real quick. Because I was looking. Let's see what we've got here. Mythic Legion skeletons. They do have some skeletons that are in stock, some Legion builders. And I don't know if they could really do all that much articulation with skeletons, you know? I'm just not sure. There's a video, I think. It shows what's on the boat coming now. Ah, dang. It might be too much for me to go digging tonight. Maybe I'll look for it later and try and post it somewhere. John, Google says kidneys are worth between $1,300 and $150,000, and I have two. Well, let's see. See if you sell one for 1,300. Here's okay, John. Here's what I'm thinking. Get a hold of the Four Horsemen and say, look, if I sell one kidney for $1,300 and I spend that $1,300, can I get three dragons? Because I'm, it's like a bulk order. Can I get three dragons for $1,300? And then if you can sell two of them and make a profit, and all you're down is one kidney. I think it works. I don't think you need to get rid of both of them. Nathaniel, Clayface looks great, but what's the articulation like? I can't imagine it's great. Honestly, I mean, Mondo, you guys let me know. Does Mondo do really good articulation? Because, like I say, I don't really get into 1/6 scale figures. Ghost Tab, any good deals for Black Friday week? I saw Amazon selling Back Arrow Robot Spirit for $8. BBTS had some good sales. I ordered McFarlane Clown for 17 USD. That's nice. I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I haven't been looking for anything, so I can't tell you specifically anything, but plenty of people are out there looking around. I know Amazon seems to be jumping all over the place. Mondo figures are too expensive and big for me to collect, but they do look amazing. Groovy Me, yeah, the size puts me down a little more. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to get into them because the price would also be one of those things where even though I like a curated collection, that collection would be ultra curated, where you just couldn't have a lot of them. Kyrus, the Clayface has really good torso articulation in the torso. Well, that's good. That's good. That makes sense. No worries, Kyrus. I know where you were going. No problem, man. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what we've got as far as all the things are concerned. Let me click. I want to click on the Deluxe Skeleton Legion Builder real quick because I haven't looked at this stuff. And like I say, I don't know that the Four Horsemen could do skeletons with more articulation just because of how thin the joints are. That thing does look good, doesn't it? Guys, I can't I think I'm looking at another rabbit hole, and that's never good. It's never a good thing. But it looks rad. All right. All right, folks. I think that's pretty much where we're at. So I'm going to call it here. Thanks again to everybody who stopped by tonight to check out the live stream. I massively appreciate it. It's totally rad. I dig it. And I appreciate all of you for coming through and hanging out. Don't forget that the next live stream isn't going to be Thursday. I'm going to let you all eat turkey with your family and your friends and all that. Although the best Thanksgiving meal I ever had was a Thanksgiving pizza I made. And by Thanksgiving pizza, it was basically a pepperoni pizza, but it was delectable and much tastier than turkey. But enjoy your Thanksgivings. And if you'd like to come back Wednesday for some more chat, some more figuring out what we're thankful for in the world of action figures, I'll see you Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, thanks for stopping in and have fun and happy snapping. See ya. Now I wave.